Here are 7 of the best webinar landing pages for you to copy and take inspiration from. Let's get into it. What is a webinar landing page, you might ask yourself? Well, it's a dedicated web page designed to promote an upcoming webinar and encourage visitors to register. This page typically includes things like title. This should be a compelling one, of course, because it should make people click and want to attend. But also practical info such as the date and time, speakers, and also teaser text about the benefits of attending and who the webinar is for. Also with clear CTAs to sign up. Okay, but why is a webinar landing page important? Well, here are 5 reasons why. Well, the first one might be obvious. Without a webinar landing page, you will not have any signups. The landing page can also increase your number of registrants dramatically, as it can increase conversion rate, and just a small percentage change in this number ultimately improve the ROI for your webinar a ton. It's also part of your brand, meaning having a nice and professional looking webinar landing page will position yourself as a professional brand you want to do business with. And a good webinar page can also be SEO optimized to be picked up in Google and AI search. The webinar landing page can also help you know your leads and figure out what to talk about. So by getting the right people to sign up and asking the right questions in the registration form, you can actually get help in knowing what to talk about to satisfy those people. For example, figuring out what kind of expectations they have or allowing them to choose between a few subjects. That can be a really good way to make sure you ace the webinar. And this can also help you see improved conversion rates from your webinar, because you talk about the right things that will get people fired up and allow them to convert through CTA buttons and the follow-up emails. Here are now the 7 best webinar landing page examples for you to copy and take inspiration from. Okay, so the first one is HubSpot with their title "Content is not king." The team at HubSpot are great at marketing, so no shocker that they know how to make a good webinar landing page as well. So essentially they have a simple title that hooks attention and sparks emotion. They play on this common phrase "content is king", so that will grab people's attention right away. They also spark FOMO with 3 clear takeaways here in the top section of why now. For example, that 94% of web pages receive 0 Google traffic, and AI is revolutionizing content creation, but human touch still wins. What does that mean? Well, you want to know more. They also have a clean design across with their logo up top and their blue and orange tones, so it will be familiar. Going into the second one, Canva. Their title is "Create Better, Close Faster." As the king of design, Canva tops the charts as well, with a crispy landing page for their webinar series in this case. And the webinar series, by the way, is a great way to use the momentum you get from having one webinar, promoting that and putting a lot of effort into it, and then having that trickle down into your upcoming webinars as well. So you don't just host a one-off experience where you lose all of that nice momentum that you could have used to get more traction from. What Canva does well is they have a catchy title that sets expectation that this is, as a matter of fact, a webinar series. They put that in the title. They have some custom graphics on top that grabs attention, and they are actually, if you zoom in there a bit, they say something like, "So excited for this new webinar series." So they, and account exec with the arrow. So they definitely know who they are talking to, people that want to close more deals in sales, and they highlight this as kind of social proof as well in the header. So that's really nice to include some custom graphics, and I'm not surprised Canva does this. They also have a clear register now button in contrasting colors. The webinar was now finished, but you can see that they're in the purple from the screenshot. So that's really nice to grab attention as a CTA and drive conversions. Alright, the third one is Univid with the webinar title "Host Webinars Like the Top 1%. So Univid is a webinar software to create engaging webinars in 60 seconds. So the team at Univid will definitely know how to put together a webinar and do it quickly. Univid landing page does very well is that we highlight the speakers on top. So essentially putting the speakers in the center of attention, especially if you've seen these people in branding, in videos or how to guide, etc. That will be a familiar face that you will expect in the webinar itself later on. So if you have speakers that will help your conversion, put them on top. Also, it's fully branded with your colors and the images and the logo on top, so that's definitely a nice touch. And this is a kind of a FOMO title, host webinars like the top 1%. You want to be part of that top percent, right? And this is also adapted to be shareable on social media and look good there as well. The next example is Slack here, and they talk about achieving hybrid work success with team collaboration. It's quite a long title in this case, making it maybe not a top contender in that aspect, but they host webinars very frequently, both for existing and new customers, and here's an on-demand webinar page that they really aced in my opinion. So they let the image do the talking here. It kind of emphasizes this collaboration aspect that the webinar will talk about, and they quickly let people know who the webinar is for. So this is something they put here in a clear way. And they also have a subtitle that goes a bit into depth that also complements the title nicely. So here you can quickly read up a bit more before diving into the more in-depth description down below. Going into the fifth one, and this is Lyyti with their Future of Events 2025. Lyyti is an event management software that hosts a larger annual webinar, and here's what they did well with their landing page. So they definitely know how to host events, that's what they are all about. And here they have put a very bold and big title on top with a clear persona in mind. Future of Events is something an event professional would want to attend. They have the navigation up on top as well, and this navigation on top really helps finding out relevant information quickly about the webinar, what you are interested in. For example, the speakers or similar. Also, Lyyti quickly highlights some practical information answering when and where the event will take place, making it super clear and easy to attend. And by the way, you can create landing pages in Lyyti itself as well, and they have a nice webinar integration to Univid, so I figured that's worth mentioning. On to the next one. The sixth one is Unbounce, mastering landing pages and A/B testing for higher conversions. Unbounce is a SaaS for building landing pages, but not necessarily for webinars and events though. But they know how to work with website conversion, and is something they apparently talk about in this webinar too. It's a very to-the-point title, but it's also SEO friendly, which is really good if you think about AI search and Google. Also, they have custom graphics that builds the message. I can't see all of them, but they are custom here, and they talk about A/B testing in the graphics as well. So that kind of is a very nice touch. They also have contrasting colors in terms of the CTAs, so you have a get the recording button or join the webinar if it's live. So that's very clear and contrasting. The seventh one and the final one is Intercom. Intercom are big fans of webinars and host them frequently, as they are a kind of a customer success platform. They have a nice webinar page here that have a clear title that draws attention and is put in the center, super contrasting and big. Also, they have quick access with CTA to kind of register directly in the header. So that's nice, and you can jump down then to the register form. And the form is not too long also, which is something we often see in other cases, so that's nice. And they also have it branded across in the kind of Intercom branding, very black and white, but also with some graphics. In the next video, we'll talk about 3 steps to create your own webinar landing page. So stay tuned for that. I'll drop a link here as soon as it's ready. Otherwise, we have a bunch of nice videos on how to record a webinar, the big webinar software guide, and a bunch of other videos. And also, if you want to create webinars, Univid is a webinar platform to create engaging webinars in 60 seconds. So feel free to try it out. I'll leave a link in the description, and see you in the next one. Ciao!